1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Friha Hassan. First, the headlines. Prime Minister says reforms are being introduced in hospitals of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which will be further implemented in rest of the country to provide best medical facilities to the people. Foreign Minister has said the entire world has acknowledged and appreciated the role played by Pakistan for the Afghan peace process. Minister for Kashmir Affairs and Gilgit-Baltistan says government is going to give provisional provincial status to GB as per demand of the people. Speakers at the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva have urged UN to impress upon the Indian government to hold accountable members of its security forces involved in heinous crimes in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. China holds simultaneous 5 military drills in 4 seas along different parts of its coast against a backdrop of rising regional tension from today. Dozens of people, including troops, have been killed in fighting between Armenia and Azerbaijan over a territorial dispute of Nagorno-Karabakh region. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan inaugurated a surgical and allied services block at Lady Reading Hospital in Peshawar this evening. Addressing doctors and health professionals on this occasion, the Prime Minister said reforms have been introduced in all sectors, including the health system, to ensure transparency and maintain a system of check and balance. He said MTI Act has been implemented in the health sector to improve health care in hospitals. He stressed meritocracy in all departments of the government for justice and transparency. Prime Minister Imran Khan also performed the groundbreaking of Timargarh Khar Mamad Gate Road in Bajor district today. Addressing the notables there, the Prime Minister expressed confidence that construction of road infrastructure in the tribal districts will promote both tourism and trade. He said that the government will promote education in the tribal districts so that the local people could earn their livelihoods. The Prime Minister said each family in the tribal districts would be provided with the health cards under which they will be able to secure healthcare services worth 750,000 rupees annually. Earlier addressing notables in Mohmand district today, Prime Minister Imran Khan assured to provide all possible funds for the socio-economic development of tribal districts. He said that our focus is to establish such industries in the tribal districts which could export goods to Afghanistan and up to the Central Asian republics. Imran Khan said border markets are also being opened, which will provide opportunities to the local people to trade with Afghanistan. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi says the entire world has acknowledged and appreciated the role played by Pakistan for the Afghan peace process. He was briefing media after a meeting with Chairman of the High Council for National Reconciliation of Afghanistan, Dr. Abdullah in Islamabad today. The foreign minister said Pakistan wants new beginning of relationship with Afghanistan to promote bilateral trade and regional connectivity. He said the Prime Minister's advisor on commerce, Abdul Razak Dawood, will soon visit Afghanistan. Chairman of the High Council for National Reconciliation of Afghanistan, Dr. Abdullah, has commended conciliatory and sincere efforts being made by Pakistan to take the Afghan peace process to logical conclusion. He was talking to Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi in Islamabad today. Dr. Abdullah expressed his gratitude to Pakistani leadership over its role in the Afghan peace process. Shah Mahmood Qureshi said Pakistan supports a peaceful and durable political solution of Afghanistan's conflict through an Afghan-led and Afghan-owned peace process. He said Pakistan, as a shared responsibility, has been playing the role of facilitator in the Afghan peace process. The foreign minister said the international community will have to come forward for the reconstruction and economic stability of Afghanistan. Minister for Kashmir Affairs and Gilgit-Baltistan Ali Amin Khan Gandapur has said Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf government is going to give provisional provincial status to Gilgit-Baltistan as per demand of the people. Addressing joint news conference with Information Minister Senator Shibli Faraz and Majlis-e-Wahdatul Muslimin leaders in Islamabad this evening, he said provincial status has been the long-standing demand of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan. He said, "We have consulted the Azad Kashmir government, Hurriyat leadership, international experts, and all other stakeholders on this issue." He said it has been a unanimous view that giving provisional provincial status to GB will not affect Pakistan's stance on Kashmir. This is Radio Pakistan. Speakers at the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva have urged the United Nations to impress upon the Indian government to hold accountable the members of its security forces involved in heinous crimes such as torture, arbitrary detentions, killings, and forced disappearances in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Taking part in a debate, the representatives of International Muslim Women Union, World Muslim Congress, Community Human Rights and Advocacy Center and Amnesty International voiced their serious concerns over the dire political and human rights situation in the disputed territory. Speaking on the occasion, the CHRNC representative Iman Gilani said the UN has passed a number of resolutions calling for a free and impartial plebiscite to allow the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir to determine their political future. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, a youth who sustained injuries after an explosive device planted by Indian troops went off during a recent cordon and search operation in Islamabad district succumbed at a Srinagar hospital today. The victim, identified as Yasin Ahmed Rather, was one of the 4 youth who were injured during a rescue operation after the troops blasted a house at Sirhama in Islamabad district. Traces of chemical substance were found on the body of martyr Yasin, proving that besides planting explosive material in debris, Indian forces also used chemical weapons during so-called search operations to target the youth as well as rescue workers. Leader of the House in the Senate, Dr. Shehzad Wasim, has condemned the provocative attack by Armenian forces on Azerbaijani civilian settlements and military positions in Karabakh region. In a statement today, he also condoled with Azeri nation and the government on loss of precious lives as a result of Armenian attack. Shehzad Wasim expressed full support to Azerbaijan's right to defend its territorial integrity and people being a sovereign state, as well as its UN Security Council recognized stance on Nagorno-Karabakh. On the second day of a territorial dispute over the Nagorno-Karabakh region between Armenia and Azerbaijan, dozens of people, including troops, have been killed in heavy exchange of fire from both the sides. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called both the sides to show restraint and stop fighting forthwith. China holds simultaneous 5 military drills in 4 seas along different parts of its coast against a backdrop of rising regional tension from today. Maritime Safety Administration said 2 of the exercises are being held near the Paracel Islands in the disputed South China Sea, 1 in the East China Sea, and 1 in further north in the Bohai Sea. It said all ships are prohibited from entering the area. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and dry weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. However, rain with thunderstorm is expected in Potohar region, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan, and Kashmir. To end the news, here once again are few of the headlines. Prime Minister says reforms are being introduced in hospitals of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which will be further implemented in rest of the country to provide best medical facilities to the people. Foreign Minister has said the entire world has acknowledged and appreciated the role played by Pakistan for the Afghan peace process. Speakers at the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva have urged the UN to impress upon the Indian government to hold accountable the members of its security forces involved in heinous crimes in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.